Final Fantasy VII Remake is one of the all-time great PS4 titles, but it's going to get even better with Intergrade. As an enhanced version of the game for PS5, it includes numerous new features and a new story episode focused on Yuffie. What if you've never played the base game though? What else does Intergrade bring to the table? Let's take a look at the title before its launch on June 10th. Before we go ahead, please consider subscribing to our channel. We upload new videos every single day and your support really helps us out. With that out of the way, let's start. Story and setting. The base game's story starts in Midgar, a bustling city where the Shinra Electric Power Company calls the shots. While life is good for the wealthy, it's downright harsh for the poor who are mostly confined to the slums. Shinra also exploits Mako, bleeding the planet Gaia dry, but there are groups like Avalanche that oppose them. The plot kicks off with a plan to bomb Mako Reactor 1. Former soldier member turned mercenary Cloud Strife is hired to assist Barrett, Biggs, Wedge, and Jesse in the task. Though much of the story plays out like the original, it's been expanded significantly and received brand new scenes. This is only part 1 of the overall story though, taking place primarily in Midgar. Characters. Cloud is the protagonist, and despite leaving Soldier, he's still haunted by visions of the past and his arch-nemesis Sephiroth. Barrett Wallace leads the Midgar cell of Avalanche and is passionate about fighting Shinra, both for the planet's sake and for Marlene, his daughter. Tifa Lockhart is Cloud's childhood friend and another member of Avalanche who resides in the Sector 7 slums. Then there's Aerith Gainsborough, a seemingly innocent flower girl who has a mysterious connection to the planet, making her a prime target for Shinra. Though this is essentially the core cast, there's still plenty of interaction with Biggs, Wedge, and Jesse. Then there's Sephiroth, one of the major antagonists responsible for much of Cloud's agony, while also having his own grandiose plans. Battle system. Final Fantasy VII Remake uses the Active Time Bar or ATB system for battles, but the implementation is quite different from the original game. Party members can manually attack in battle to build up ATB gauges, blocking enemy damage and dodging in real time. Using the battle menu causes the game temporarily slow down for easier selection of skills, materia, limit breaks, and summons which consume ATB. Each party member also has their own unique playstyles. Cloud can switch between Operator and Punisher modes for blocking and countering respectively, while Barrett fires from range and can unleash charged shots. Tifa can build up her strength for higher damage and combos, while Aerith specializes in magic and uses Tempest for increased magic damage. New side quests and activities. Along with new systems like weapon upgrade trees, Final Fantasy VII Remake also has lots of new content and side quests not seen in the original. Some of these quests include learning more about other Avalanche members, establishing Cloud as a mercenary for hire in the Sector 7 slums, and various minigames. There's also the Shinra Combat Simulator challenges where players can tackle various enemies and even some optional endgame bosses. Intergrade price and free PS4 to PS5 upgrade. Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade is essentially the PS5 version of the game, but with new story content and optimizations to leverage the hardware. It costs $70, but those who own the PS4 version can upgrade to Intergrade for free, which is not applicable for those who claim the digital version on PlayStation Plus. This will only net you the visual improvements and quality of life improvements though. To play the new content, you'll need to pay $20 for Episode Intermission. Episode Intermission takes place during the main story, with Yuffie Kizaragi, a ninja from Wutai, as the protagonist. Along with Sonnen Kusakabe, she enters Midgard to steal some powerful materia from Shinra, all in an effort to restore the glory of Wutai. Things rarely go as planned though, and the duo face some obstacles along the way. It's worth noting that Episode Intermission is exclusive to Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade and won't be coming to the PS4 version anytime soon. Yuffie's playstyle and abilities. Capable of close and long-range combat, Yuffie has quite a unique playstyle. Pressing square allows for unleashing strikes with her throwing star, while holding it lets Yuffie create some distance. Triangle throws the star, pressing square during this allows her to unleash ninjutsu from range, while triangle recalls the weapon. Using elemental ninjutsu can confer ice, wind, fire, and lightning elements to one's attacks and ninjutsu. Some examples of ninjutsu include Banishment and Windstorm, the latter capable of blowing enemies towards Yuffie. If that weren't enough, Yuffie can also perform synchronized attacks with Sonnen. New characters. Born in Wutai, Sonnen has trained under Yuffie's father and bears a grudge against Shinra following the war between the two. As a more down-to-earth personality, he uses a staff and assists Yuffie in battle. Other characters include Gigi, who serves as a point of contact between Wutai and Avalanche, who observes Barrett's cell, Billy Bob, a laid-back yet highly experienced Avalanche operative, and Polk, the youngest member of Avalanche. There's also YUFFIE'S the Immaculate from Dirge of Cerberus Final Fantasy VII, who rules and is confined to the Deep Ground, an underground research center that Shinra has kept secret. New summons, materia, and bosses. New summons and materia are confirmed for episode Intermission, the former consisting of entities like Ramoon. We also got a peek at some new bosses like a mechanical walker with an enormous tail and giant drill, YUFFIE'S the Immaculate, who seems to be a Shinra combat simulator challenge, Scarlet in Shinra power armor, and more. Overall, each look varied and interesting to fight. Partial support for adaptive triggers. One feature that Square Enix remains relatively vague on is DualSense support. Speaking to Famitsu, creative director Tetsuya Nomura said the adaptive triggers were partially supported. What this means remains to be seen, but it's also not clear if haptic feedback or 3D audio is supported. Graphics and performance modes. There are two modes to experience Intergrade: graphics mode and performance mode. Graphics mode prioritizes running the game in 4K resolution, with the frame rate being at 30 FPS. Performance mode prioritizes running in a stable 60 frames per second. While the resolution for the latter has yet to be revealed, fans can finally experience the RPG in glorious 60 FPS or glorious 4K, whichever works. Improved textures, fog effects, and lighting. Final Fantasy VII Remake was already a really good looking game on PS4, barring some low quality textures, but Intergrade takes things even further. Along with 4K and 60 FPS options, Square Enix has also improved the textures, fog effects, and lighting. Interior environments and backgrounds look way more vibrant as a result, while the fog adds some great atmosphere to levels like the sewers. Classic mode on normal difficulty. For those who couldn't quite get into Final Fantasy VII Remake's battle system, there was Classic mode. This made attacking and blocking automatic, while the player could pause and execute commands when the ATB gauges have filled. You can still switch between characters, but the default difficulty in the base release was set to easy, turning the game into a cakewalk. Intergrade offers Classic mode on normal difficulty, with enemies having more health and posing more of a threat. So if you wanted to experience something similar to the Classic battle system, but have also sought a greater challenge, then it may be worth checking out. Faster loading times. Of course, the PlayStation 5's SSD is supported for faster loading times. Using the PS5 Enhanced Features trailer as a reference, a quick stopwatch check shows less than 3 seconds to go from the load game menu to Chapter 8. Considering it takes several times longer on the PS4, depending on the area, this may just be the best reason to play Intergrade yet. Photo mode. It wouldn't be a PS5 title without some kind of photo mode. With Intergrade, players can pause the game and reorient the camera's position, adjusting the angle, title, and exposure, while selecting from numerous different filters like retro animation, black and white, sunset, and more for their photos. You can also choose to hide the party in shots to better capture the environment. Fort Condor. Present as a tower defense style minigame in the original, Fort Condor returns as a tabletop strategy game with figurines in episode Intermission. You can place units on the battlefield and have to seemingly defend various Condor figures during battle. ATB plays a part along with spells like Barrier, Regen, and Poison.
That which binds us together would be no more, and I would be loath to live in such a world, which is why I must ask you this one favor. Don't worry, it's a simple thing. Run, Cloud. Run away. You have to leave. You have to live.
So, what are your thoughts on this? Go ahead and share them in the comments below. And if you like this video, please subscribe to the channel and enable all notifications by clicking the bell icon to get new video updates. We upload every day and we would really appreciate your support. Thanks for watching.